This is insanity I'm hearing about Odell Beckham Jr. Like, Odell, talk to his teammates. His teammates love this dude. And let me tell you something else. Eli Manning, if I ever see him in a bar, he ain't paying for a drink. He brought my Giants 2 Super Bowls with clutch plays. I love that dude. He has stunk on ice for years now. Odell, when he was on the field, was making Eli look like an NFL quarterback, kind of. Without Odell on the field, Eli has been non-NFL starter. Now, let me say this. Key, you tell me if I'm wrong. Game recognized game. Real recognized real. I don't worry about Odell on the Browns. Baker Mayfield, baller. Kareem Hunt, baller. Nick Chubb, baller. Odell is going to fit right in. He is much more of a Steelers problem. The Browns just went 7-8-1, and they added Odell Beckham freaking Jr. and Kareem Hunt. This is a problem for the AFC North, not for Cleveland.
Well, look, I love you to death, Max, but I kind of lean toward Ryan on this one. I think when you look at it, the problem in being put in that position, I've been there. I've been traded from the New York Jets for 2 number-1 picks, going to a team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In my first year in Tampa Bay, I did not light it up. I played well. I played well enough to help the team make it to the playoffs, but they were going to the playoffs regardless with me or without me because they were a good team before I arrived there. On the offensive side of the ball was a struggle. I look at it this way. If Odell Beckham has any issues with getting the football early on with the Cleveland Browns, it could be problematic because he's there. It's a lot of stress and a lot of pressure, like Ryan said, to live up to those expectations. People are looking for Odell to take the Cleveland Browns to the next level. If all of a sudden he's getting 2 or 3 passes a game and they're not winning football games, I understand they're loaded with talent. I understand that John Dorsey went out there and did a terrific job in terms of Kareem Hunts and drafting players and getting Odell and doing all of those things, making Baker Mayfield a starter. If he's not getting the football, Max, and he's not producing, trust me, it will be problematic. But to what degree, okay? He may be frustrated. He may do some of the same antics that we saw in New York, which to me isn't that big of a problem. He's motivating himself. Kicking a net, so what? He didn't kick anybody, he kicked the net. He didn't hurt anybody, he hurt a net. The net doesn't have feelings. So at the end of the day, I honestly believe it's the Cleveland Browns that have to worry about kind of managing and maintaining the expectations. The Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin, they've seen a ton of receivers. They see A.J. Green every single year. They've seen his teammate Landry. So they certainly know what they're up against in terms of playing against elite receivers.
Guys, you got to be kidding me that if anybody's having the notion here that you don't have the responsibility as a star in the league to just get out and produce, but be a model citizen. And I love the way
But he's not, you said a model citizen. What has Odell done that he's not a model citizen, right?
He ain't won nothing.
That doesn't make him not a model citizen, dog. That doesn't make him not a model citizen because he hasn't won.
Listen, he hasn't won anything in the NFL yet. He's a star talent. I understand. Odell even said it. He said, I can't throw it to myself and catch it. And as a matter of fact, he threw a longer pass to Eli Manning. We're not denying that.
Ryan, football is a little bit different, unlike your sport. It takes 11 guys. In basketball, we can get 1 or 2 guys, and it completely changes the landscape. In football, you have to have 22-plus guys, offense, defense, special teams, coaches. Everything has to mesh. Now, do I think the Cleveland Browns have an opportunity to do something special? Yes. But what a lot of people are missing with the Cleveland Browns is they got to understand that Kitchens, the new head coach, was the interim offensive coordinator. They scored a lot more points than when Todd Haley was there. He was running the same offense that Todd ran, but he didn't have any real responsibility. He was just trying to become an offensive coordinator. He fell into this head coaching job. Now he's going to call plays, but he has to also manage the entire team. Forget the players. Focus in on what the head coach's responsibility is.
I just know he can't control that, and I don't trust if he's going to play his role. I know he can't control if they have to win a game running the ball, and defensively, he's going to play his role, Max.
Hold on. A couple things. Number one, when you talk about what the Browns need to worry about, losing Zeitler to the Giants in that trade off the offensive line, that's something we can point to. Odell causing problems, whatever, you might point to that, but did they just get better or worse? They were giving problems to the North for the first time in a long time, and they just got better. Key, it's not just one receiver. It's Odell and Landry. It's not just one back. It's Kareem and Chubb.
Max, there's no question they're a better football team with Odell. This conversation has started because Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin was asked a question about worrying about Odell. And I would say that the Cleveland Browns have to worry about getting a guy with high expectations the football in his hands and let him be productive, because if he's not, then he's not going to be very happy. I've been there before. I've been in that position where I was traded and everybody thought, oh, my God. So what starts to happen is you become less of a player if you're not getting the football and you're not producing. People start to look at you different. All of those endorsements that he was getting in New York won't be the same in Cleveland, because if he's not producing, people are going to say he's not the player that he was in New York.
What's your gut as someone who's won a Super Bowl, who's made all Pro or Pro Bowl teams and all that stuff, who's the #1 draft and everything? When I look at Odell on the Browns with Baker Mayfield and these dudes, I think these are ballers. My gut says they're going to have a good time this season. What's your gut about Cleveland with Odell?
My gut tells me they're going to win about 6 or 7 games, man. That's what my gut says. But I can be wrong. I've been wrong before. The head coach scares me. He scares me. I'll say it again, Max. He was an interim offensive coordinator, okay, that did well, got an opportunity that was kicked to the head coach. Now he's over 53-plus guys, an entire organization. He has to now deal with the training staff, the strength and conditioning. He has to manage personalities on offense and defense. Is he ready for that role? In-game decision as a head coach is different than an in-game decision as a coordinator that's on an intern tag. That's all I'm saying.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, highlights, and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.